Welcome back to another video. So today we're going over the dev plugin, aka Vigor plugin, that was created by a very talented developer named MeowR1, who also goes by the aliases Neko and Neko Tono. Her links will be in the description below. You should definitely check her out because she helped us create this plugin specifically for our up and coming server. And we are going to go over what this plugin is, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So basically, in infographic form, whenever you die, you lose vigor. In this test server, whenever you die, you'll lose 2 vigor. If you can't afford a respawn, like if you die with less than 2 vigor in this example, you will be vigor banned for 24 hours. But you can always be revived by other players who pay a price in order to revive you. So in this example, on this server, another player would have to pay 5 vigor in order to revive me, for example. The plugin also supports you being able to exchange items from vigor and back and forth. So we'll go over that in a little bit. So as a player, these are the main commands that you'll have to go over, the 5 main commands that you have to know. So the first one is /vigor. Death money and /vigor do the same thing. They basically just show how much vigor you have currently. It's like your balance. It's like, pretty much that's what it is. The next command that you'll want to know is /exchange. So basically you can exchange physical items into vigor and vice versa. But if I were to try to do it with nothing in my hand, it'll say I can't exchange air for vigor. Please hold an item in your hand what you want to exchange. And if you don't know, for whatever server you're on, what you can exchange, you can always use exchange list, which shows all available items that can be exchanged. So in this case, you could exchange vigor for 1 vigor for a vigor physical currency. So I'll show you that right now. So let's get rid of that cobblestone. So if I were to do /exchange vigor, I don't know, 4, I just got 4 physical vigor. And if I were to do /vigor again, as you can see, it took 4 vigor because each vigor costs 1. So it's, in this case, it's an interchangeable physical and virtual currency. And if I wanted to convert this back into virtual, I just do /exchange. And if I were to check my balance again, I have 52. So that's what you can do in order to convert your items between physical and virtual. The next command that we went over previously is /revive. So this is in order to revive players. And it only revives players who have been vigor banned. It doesn't revive players who are banned from the server. So like if an admin were to like ban you for like hacking, you can't be unbanned using this revive plugin because it checks if this plugin banned you for lacking enough vigor to respond. So if I were to try and do it on myself, who is not currently banned, it would say player was not banned for missing vigor, can't unban them with /revive. And this only works for players who are vigor banned, and if you have enough, because as we saw over here in this example server, it costs 5 vigor in order to revive someone. Let me set it to day real quick. Time set in. Anyways, and the last command that you'll need to know as a average player is vigor send or death money send. They're the same thing, but I recommend you use this one because it's shorter. And this is how you could send players money. So you do it vigor send, whatever the player's name is, and the amount you want to give them, which is good for trading, but I can't send it to myself. But if I were to send it to somebody else, I could use an admin command, which is /give myself 4 vigor. And if I was giving another player vigor, it would say I gave somebody 4 vigor. And if I were on the receiving end, it would say I got 4 vigor. So if I were to do /balance again, I got 56 vigor. And the only reason that I have more vigor now is because this is these 2 are admin commands. So this will help facilitate like the economy if you're an admin, in case you need more vigor or whatever. Anyways, So now let's go over the admin command. So we went over the exchange list. So if you want to add items to the exchange list, this is how you do it. So first you have to get an item. In this case, I want a totem of undying. And I recommend you could use any items, including custom items, but I'd recommend you use custom items instead of like something like oak, because it's very easy to obtain a lot of. So basically how it works is you just do /add exchange item and the name and how much it's valued. So I'm gonna add an item lore real quick. Add example. So this is MBT custom item now. So now if I were to do /add exchange item totem, do totem, I'd recommend lowercase. And each totem is worth 10 vigor. It would say that I've successfully created it, and if I were to check the exchange list, it would say totem is now worth 10. And if I wanted to do /exchange totem, and I want can currently afford 5, so I'll do 4. So it costs me 40 vigor because each one's 40 vigor. Now if it's not a stackable item, I recommend you separate them. That way you can avoid issues with that. And now if I were to check my balance, it took 40 vigor from me, and I can always exchange it back like that. And it won't work for a normal totem of undying because it doesn't match exactly the same value. So if I were to do /exchange, it would say you can't exchange this totem of undying, please hold an item. So this is not a valid one, and this isn't a valid one for this example. So that's all the commands for the server that you need to know as a player and an admin. And now we'll go over how to set up the plugin onto your server in case you're interested in adding this to your server. Alright, if you follow the link that's in the description to this plugin, you'll see this main page. As you can see, it was made by MeowR1. So how you install it to your server is first you want to go navigate to this RAR right here. And then you want to press download. I already have it downloaded, so I'll just open it with using a zip. So as you can see, this is how the zip looks like on the inside. So you want to extract this, and once you extract it, you'll want to get this jar and place it in your plugin folder. I recommend you stop the server when you're adding the plugin to your server. Then start it and then stop it again so you can edit the configs. So that's how you do that. And this is the configs right here. As you can see, we have the SQL, messages, and money that you can all edit. So this server, this plugin requires you to have a SQL connection or a SQL database. If you don't know how to set one up, there are plenty of videos out there. I want to make this short and simple. That way you could just focus on creating this plugin. So you want to have your URL, the user, the password for the SQL database, and you want to put it all into your config files. The next thing you want to do is edit any messages you want. So these are all events that occur within the plugin. So for example, if I join and I get a login reward, it'll say, it'll tell the player 3 vigor received. Or if they were banned, it'll say insufficient vigor to respond, have someone revive you, or wait out your penalty. Stuff like that, you can edit whatever you want players to see whenever a certain action is done. And the last but not least is the money. So how much each player gets for dying, for joining, for voting, each vote, and revive costs. This is a daily join, so players only get this every 24 hours, and you do have to have your server up 24/7 in order for this to work. Otherwise, it will not give a daily join reward to players because your server is stopping or whatever. It's just not going to work. And the most important part is the lose all. So by default, this is true, but what this does is that if a player dies when this is true, they lose all of their money, which is why it's called lose all. So they lose all of their vigor. So this is not recommended for if you're having a more hardcore, not a hardcore server. So in my case, it's not a hardcore server, so we want to have this on false. That's what I would recommend. Otherwise, whenever they die, they'll have all their vigor set to 0, and if they die again, they'll more than likely be banned if they can't afford a respawn. And that's pretty much it. If you want to remove an item that's already been added, let's say you didn't like, let's say I didn't like this totem that I added earlier, all I have to do is just highlight it and delete it from the config files, and make sure to restart the server. No, stop the server and then start it again. Don't press restart, because sometimes there's some issues that occur when you don't fully stop it and then start it again. So don't restart it, stop, and then start it again. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe or any of that good stuff, and I apologize for not uploading recently. I've just been really busy. As you can see, my account was also hacked, so I'm glad to have it back as well. Until next one.